This video will go over how to enter well maintenance information into FUDSChem. Well maintenance information can be entered anytime a maintenance activity is performed on a well. Maintenance activities range from painting the well to repairing the well. Abandoning a well, or changes to well casing or ground surface elevations can also be captured here. This video assumes that well completion information and well construction intervals have already been submitted. For more information, please review our Well Completion Information Entry Tutorial video and our Well Construction Intervals Entry Tutorial video linked in the description. Go to Tools, Data Submission. Select the project and event. Choose Well Maintenance Information as the data type. Note that you have the option to create a file or upload file. For this example, we will click Create a File and enter our data via the interface. For an example of how to enter data via a CSV file, please refer to our Loading Locations to FUDSChem via Flat File tutorial video, which is linked in the video description for your convenience. Let's say that one of our wells, CRB-MW-467S, was backed over by a truck, and the well casing was broken off. So we need to submit a well maintenance information record to denote a change in the measuring point elevation. First, we'll choose our location, CRB-MW-467S, and the location ID dropdown. Locations in the dropdown have already been approved in FUDSChem. If you do not see the location you need in the dropdown, uncheck the Event Loc IDs Only box. The log date will be the date of the change. For this example, we backed over the well on April 20th, 2021. For the maintenance type, we will choose Measuring Point Elevation. Note that only the first 10 items are shown in the dropdown. We can expand the dropdown to show more items by clicking at the bottom where it says Items 1 through 10 out of the total number of items. Clicking here shows the next 10 items. Alternatively, we can start typing into the box to make the list jump to that letter and see items that are further down in the list. In the case of a change in elevation, like we are recording here, the measuring point elevation and ground surface elevation fields should be populated. It is especially important to create a well maintenance information record for any activities that change the measuring point elevation or ground surface elevation, to ensure hydrogeologic calculations using these elevations are performed correctly. Our ground surface elevation remained the same, so we'll enter 25. This is 25 feet above sea level, which was the original elevation when we surveyed this well. For this example, we'll say our measuring point elevation used to be 27.77 feet, but is now 26 feet, due to how the well casing was broken when we backed over it. So, we'll enter 26 as the measuring point elevation. We'll make sure to detail changes made to the well in the Remarks section. In the case of an elevation change, the circumstances surrounding the change, as well as whether the change occurred naturally or via human intervention, should be included. Therefore, we will say, well backed over by truck, casing broken, measuring point elevation lowered. Click Save. If we had another well with a very similar update to our first well, we could use the Copy button up at the top to make a copy of this record, and change only the information that's different between the two, such as the location name. Alternatively, we could use the Add button instead to add a new location with an entirely blank template. For the sake of time, we will only enter data for one well. Since we've already saved, we will close the interface. Click Rename. We'll name this file WMI_CRB-MW-467S_2Q2021. But for your file, you can give it any name that will make it easy to identify later. Next, we will click the checkbox and choose Screen to make sure there are no errors flagged by the system. If there were errors, we would be able to click on the number of errors to view an error report. We would make any necessary updates, then save, and screen the file again. Since there are 0 errors, we will click Certify to send this file into the queue for review. Once you have certified the file, send an email to your review point of contact and ask them to review and approve the file. Depending on your district, this may be someone at the Corps or someone at Synectics. Once the well maintenance info file has been approved, the elevations entered in this file will supersede any previously entered well completion or well maintenance information in future hydrogeologic calculations. The measuring point elevation entered in this file will also automatically populate as the measuring point for this location when entering groundwater measurements through the FUDSChem interface, so that the correct elevation will be referenced in future groundwater elevations. For more information on groundwater elevations, please refer to our groundwater level entry tutorial. This video is linked in the description. Don't forget to subscribe to the FUDSChem YouTube channel for more tutorial videos. All of the tutorials and playlists mentioned during this video are linked in the description below. Lastly, if you have questions or comments, feel free to contact us at fuds.support@synectics.net. Thank you.